Hey, bot pickers, and welcome to this year's, or last year's, as 2022 slowly fades into distant memory. The dust settles, and it's time to choose our top 10 bots of 2022. Couple of honorable mentions first. First up, it's the comic version of Impactor. There needs to be an Impactor in one of these videos, quite frankly, and this is this year's Go at Him. It's a slight recolor and a very noticeable retool on the gun and the head and the chest and stuff to make it more inspired by his first appearance in the Marvel Comics. Um, yeah, he's great. Part of the Records collection, but I think I do prefer the other two head sculpts, the IDW one and the Siege one. So even though he's cool to have, is my lesser impactor. Finally said it. Second honourable mention is Scrapbook. He's a great new character, Junkion, part of the Siege Legacy, Transformers Legacy Evolution. Just adding extra words into the. I love a post-apocalyptic vehicle. I love the modular aspect of this guy. I just think he's just. He's only just come out. He's just hit my hand, and not a lot of people will have this guy yet. So I thought, let's not include him in this year's list. Let's just have him as an honourable mention and see where we go from here. Number 10. That's how we start. We go up and downwards. This guy. This is. Well, it's Tarantulas. And. Funnily enough, I've tried not to watch anyone's top 10 yet because I don't want it to influence me. But we were talking to Arrowfire on Friday, a bit of a group conversation. He said that this guy seems to be completely neglected, so I kind of that's Arrowfire with a Y, but not where you think. Um, yeah, he's just a cool Beast Wars character. That core cast, the master of manipulation, and just the sculpt work, the all the posability and stuff like that. Well, still on par with actually probably the original, without the firing hook on a string, which I miss firing hooks on strings. But the head sculpt and everything like that, and the paint, just all the little details and stuff like that, really cool, worthy of being in a top 10 of the year. Number 9, Iron Factory's Seaspray. Something pleasing, visually pleasing about Seaspray's colour breakdown. That dark blue, the yellow that pops, and that just a little bit of white. It's not bright white. It's just a kind of an off-white. Yeah, and I just love that little hook weapon they've given, that little harpoon weapon they've given him, and the head sculpt's great. The posability is great. It's an Iron Factory figure that actually has a decent alt mode, so for that they need to be applauded whenever that happens. So yeah, he's just a cool mini Autobot that, yeah, I absolutely love this guy. Absolutely love him. So that means we're this is where we forget how to count, Rishi. Is Jaxis, another legacy figure from the G2 universe, and he just looks like he stepped off that comic page. And you can see where the artwork at its time was very kind of like Kirby inspired. I mean, that head sculpt could belong to one of the new gods. You know, it's just it could be hanging around with Darkseid, and yeah, and it's just the proportions of this figure are just so powerful. There's not, really a shred of kibble on him. unless it just wants to be there for superfluous reasons. I mean, there's no reasons for these little wings on his ankles. You know, hello Namor. Yeah, all in all, just a great beefy Voyager with hardly any kind of like the usual gaps and stuff we see like that. So yeah, he well deserved to be number 8. Um, so on there we'll get to 7, which is this guy. This is New Age Shattered Glass Grimlock. I wanted a Grimlock. I wanted this to see what this New Age is. New Age, isn't it? Not Magic Square. I get them confused. Rowan will tell me off for that. But I wanted to see what the Grimlock was all about. But I didn't want just another. Oh, here's just another Grimlock, and so I went for a different flavor of Grimlock in his shattered glass colors. Love like the little differentials in his chest where they've gone for the more classics design, and then the more IDW stylized head with those burning orange eyes. And he's just all in all, he's just a really cool, really sturdy figure. Some nice weight to him with some die cast, and yeah, just another smashing Grimlock for the Grimlock collection. Speaking of which, get us to number 6, halfway through, is Iron Factory's Samurai Grimlock. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, another Grimlock. Iron Factory, specialize in legend scale figures, but they excel when they push that size category to its limits. So, this is a big legend class figure. So, next to a deluxe, he's got that extra. He's a lot heavier than this guy because he's got, the weight and lots of plastic, and he's just a solid figure. The head sculpt is amazing. He's also got like a silly samurai dinosaur head as well. And just all the weapons, everything like that. He just comes off super stylized, super great. He's posable, he's dynamic, and that is what I've tried a few of the others like in this samurai collection from Iron Factory, and unfortunately they don't have the the dinosaurism, or the dynamicness that really I'd want in a line that is kind of, this samurai based. I want them to be able to pull off crazy poses, and Grimlock is the one that can do that. Next up, okay, here we go. Right, decisions. Yeah. So that's the problem. You have it, and you got numbers, and we're kind of like things are getting pretty tight towards the end here of who goes where in this order. But I think because we've got a few of these anyway. This is MMC's. I can't remember the name they give him. Optus Pectus or whatever. Optus Pectus Evilus, something like that. This is the another shattered glass figure of, but in the MMC's kind of chuckster-piece style. Absolutely glorious. I love the purple on Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. I love that kind of this weird grey blue, dark blue. And this is a phenomenal figure. Just the posability of it. It's, it is a transformer. It does transform, but they've very much gone for an action figure first. Just everything this does. It's just like butter. He's course, you know, we're on camera now, so it doesn't seem as well. But yeah, it's just such a lovely hand feel to this guy, and just playing around with him is excellent. And that axe, come on, that's a top 10 worthy axe. Maybe one year, we'll just do a top 10 of Transformers axes and nothing else. So that's number 5. Yeah. So number 4. Fans Toys. Oh, this is Fans Toys Sovereign comic version. When I first saw Fans Toys Sovereign, or Galvatron to us lay people, I think it was on Ben's Collectibles table at a rollout roll call, and he looked absolutely amazing. But he was in the wrong colours. I'm a comic book guy first, and so, as you should know by now, and so I've been waiting for years, literally years, for them to actually come out with a repaint, an easy repaint of this figure in the coloration that I want. And he's everything. He is just everything that he should be. He's just big, powerful. He's just got so much shelf presence. He's heavy. Oh, I wish there'd been. I mean, he's got this one angry face. I wish there'd been more angry faces. I wish they'd pushed out the bound, pushed out the boat and given us some really cool, like, head sculpts based on the original artwork from the comics. But it is what it is, and he is number 4. So number 3. Oh, this is the Fans Toys portion of our show. It is Fans Toys Skull Cruncher. Now, the price on this guy was a bit of a mouthful, let me tell you. Especially for what he is. And, when he arrived, got him out of his box, and he's got his head, and he's got his gun, and he's got his sword. And I'm the first one to complain about the amount of shit you get when you're buying some of these third-party Transformer figures, where you get, oh, here's a little prop that they used that one time in that one episode. Oh, here's like several superfluous face plates, for various different expressions that you'll probably never use. But to then buy a figure at this price point that comes with so little, it felt like a bit of a slap on the dick. And then coupled with that he's just got his shoulder joints are just ball joints. Admittedly, they're very tight and sturdy and should last. But again, a figure of this kind of market value, they should not be resorting to ball joints for primary places like the shoulders. We should get some ratchets and clickety clacks and all that type of good business that swivels and stuff that are sturdy and will keep tight over time. So that why is he number 3 in your countdown, Richard? Well, then I transformed him into crocodile mode, and all sins were forgiven. This is just so. It's just beautiful. I mean, Skull Cruncher was a figure that I got as a Christmas present as a child, so he'll always have a fond place in my collection, even like new ones that I buy. But yeah, this is just this crocodile mode. Worth it. It's just worth it. Beautiful. So number 2. Number 2, we have Mountain Fury. Forgive me, we cannot remember the toy company name. There's a review of him, but yeah, a couple of videos down you can check out. Now this guy does everything I want a Transformer to do. He's a post-apocalyptic vehicle. He's got all these ratchets, joints, maneuverability, adaptability. He's just the ratchets are just gorgeous and sexy and clickety clackety. Great sculpture, great details. He's got this little visor plate that goes down. So it's everything I want from a Transformer. Apart from he's not a Transformer, is he? He's a different IP completely. He's his own thing. He just fits in well with a transforming world. And yeah, I think it would be number one if he was a Transformers character that I was attached to. But seeing as he's just a robot guy, living his robot guy world, but the fact that he just does everything that I want a Transformer to do, and the alt mode is amazing, the robot mode is amazing, just big guns and posability and 4 drill nipples. So post-apocalyptic drill nipples, number 2. So number 1 is this girl. This is Bingo Toys Wind Girl, also known as Windblade. Just, yeah, the alt mode's janky. The wings are a little loose now. They could do with some tightening up. But just the sculpture and this cherry red. How many times did I say that in the video about it? Talking about the cherry red paint job. The cherry red paint job is it's just too good. The head sculpt is fantastic. It's Windblade. It is just Windblade. And I think in the year that we've lost IDW Comics, I think it's very fitting to put her as our number 1 Transformers figure of 2022. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for getting me up to 1,000 subscribers this year. That's amazing. I never thought it'd actually happen. Even though I think my channel's kind of on the decline, as it were. Not from the lack of you guys, viewers. It's more of a me thing, to be honest with you. I think there's people now up and coming who are doing a lot of better job and care a lot more about doing these videos than I do. And I think, you know, sometimes it's time to just go, yeah, just slow down now, mate. I'm not buying as many Transformers as I used to. I look around at these 10 or so figures that I bought this year that are just the tip of the iceberg. But I'm not. Especially, you know, not this next year. There's not really much. I said that last year. I said there's not really much coming out that's got piquing my interest. And here we are. So who knows? But yeah. Remember, be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. And because you deserve it, let's bump fists, shall we? Fisto! Fisto!